Not much to say in this moment in time. I was just taking a walk. As you know the story about our walks that we take. It's true. I am on the other side of Portugal. Walking the cliffs on my way to do some writing. The wonder about the natural world is that it's infinitely different each and every moment. Day after day, you can walk a similar path, and it is only that similar. Never the same. Always something different. Always some kind of movement that you didn't see the day before. The ocean makes an appearance. I love this little outburst of greens, flowerings. You recognize shots. Look at that. Goodness. Cliffs and the path that we walk upon. Time to time you see these feet moving along, walking in the streets. I like the street better than the sidewalk. And one of my favorite things to do, especially places that have lovely views, is to walk backwards. You can capture something else, something moves within you. Creativity flows in a reversing kind of way. Here we are. What to share with you today other than all this beauty and wonder? When I was walking down toward the beach, toward the ocean, toward the cliffs, I, as often as I do, think about sovereignty that is you. How lovely it is to support each other. How lovely it is for me. I love investing in human potential. And it got me thinking about making choices and how no matter what one does, you're just going to make some bad choices. It's the nature of it, you know. So often we beat ourselves up for the choices we've made. Why did I do that? I should have known better. Why did I make that decision? And it's a real thing that the humans struggle with. Maybe it's not even a human struggle. Maybe it's a struggle of the personality. You see it like this. But it does hang on and it does linger. And it's one of those things. I think it's a superpower of a kind when you can just say, all right, that happened. Time to move on. Done with that. That was interesting. That was perfect. That was amazing. Would have liked that to have worked out otherwise, but nevertheless. You see, there's a lot of confusion about what we can and cannot control and what choices we're really making that are our choices that are made by us as opposed to the lingering programs that run within us. You could say it comes down to a conversation about destiny and free will. I would say that is partially true. But what is more curious about it, and I think this is often missed, and this is a place I love to work with people, with my clients, and it's this. It's the environment. You can't beat the environment. The environment always wins. People really don't like that, but I ask you to ask yourself, to explore for yourself, is what I'm saying true. When it comes to living a beautiful, wonderful life, when it comes to creating and attracting whatever it is you desire, when it comes to reducing suffering in your own life and bringing up the level of genuine happiness, of deep, fulfilling joy and contentment, I'll ask you to invite yourself into a conversation about your environment that you are within. And now here's a strange thing, is when you start having that conversation with yourself and you recognize that it may be true, find out for yourself, of course. But if you do, you realize you don't necessarily need to leave your environment. You'll realize that your environment has a hold of you and is creating you in some regard. But that awareness allows you to let go of trying to manipulate it and to manipulate your life to be one way or another. Because now you have broken through that by bringing some attention to it, to acknowledge it, to see it. So if you start wondering, feeling like you're in a place that's noisy and chaotic in your life and just can't find any peace or quiet, well, look around. Where have you plopped yourself? Where have you placed yourself in space and time? It's a simple thing and it seems to be common sense, but as the saying goes, common sense is not so common. Something like that, I don't know. I was never good. Never one of my strong suits, and I shouldn't even say that. Never one of my desires to be able to repeat cliches, so part of that's probably because my brain doesn't work that way, so I just have to create them on my own. Birds. Our environments are more important than we ever want to acknowledge, but we should really take some time to sit in there and think about it. It might be painful, especially when you start acknowledging and looking and exploring the fact that we have created, as a mass of humans, some environments that are terrible for the human animal, and that we continue to live in them, and it's once we get acclimated to them, because we are so great at adaptation, that we can get lost, and we can be in an environment thinking it's our actual environment. There's a lot of analogies. One is the wild animal that's been encaged and enslaved, and then finally you take it to a place where it can find its freedom. You open the cage, it walks out, and turns around and walks back into the cage. This is us. This is the human condition. it's actually natural or innate in us, but it's been forced and thrust upon us. And it could be because we are so good at adapting. I don't know. Nevertheless, on a practical level, for you, your search, your journey through whatever your truth is, I ask you to explore. I'll tell you more another time. I had a dream. That sounds funny. I had a dream. I always have dreams. I'll just tell you now. And the voice, when I was coming out of it wasn't a dream. I was coming, I think, in a hypnagogic state. Coming out of a dream, and I heard a voice say, "Assign a design for the time. Assign a design for a time to the vision you have in mind. Your environment."